had this kind of meal there together, also with David, I think. And what did I have? I had a meal of dates. Hi everyone, it's me, Carbundance. Welcome back to my 365 days from eating disorder or quasi recovery to real recovery. You're seeing now what I ate a year ago, like throughout 1 week, and it is basically a raw week that I did there, like fully raw. And yeah, I'm also going to show you the screenshots that I made there because it actually says a lot about my mental state there. And also we're going to go into what I eat now opposed to what I ate 1 year ago. Yeah, so let's just get into it, and I encourage you to watch the whole video from beginning to the end because it's very relevant to you guys if you're struggling with a restrictive eating disorder and you want to recover. So just down below, it's saying the most common problem on this diet, and they're talking about a high carb, very low fat diet, is under eating. I'd be curious to see your meal plan from when you did this. And you know, it's just implying that it's only about the calories, you know, and that's just something that I held on to for such a long time. And I just want to let you guys know, in order to recover from a restrictive eating disorder, it's not enough to eat enough calories. You know, as long as you're living off of the safe foods that your eating disorder approves of and, you know, justifies, like this, what you're seeing now, you know, just healthy whole foods, and I don't care how many fats you also include there, and how many high caloric foods like dates. I mean, you can see here I was I had to keep stock of everything. Grocery shopping is a thing when you're trying to be fully raw, or even like, you know, it's just so you're justifying that this is just being healthy, and that's just what has to be done in order to be healthy, which it doesn't have to be. And that's how you justify that you have to do all this, and you don't really realize that your life does actually revolve around food and preparing food and taking food with you because you cannot eat the food that everyone else eats and all of that stuff. Here they say down below, I wanted to maintain my social life, and for me it was more important to be able to enjoy the occasional veggie burger or hummus wrap at a bar with friends than it was to uphold a strict ideal about the human diet that would alienate me from my friends. So they're talking about opposed to fully raw, and that's fine, but I'll tell you right now that not having any food rules, even things like plant-based and stuff, I don't care how ethical it is for you. It was 100% ethical for me as well. But the eating disorder approved of this. And I can tell you that being social will be so far much more enjoyable and free if I'm wanting to say that even the cooked high carb direction is still far less free in terms of social life than not having any label at all. And that does not have anything to do with feeling entitled. It's just the way it is. Why people slip off a fruit-based or raw vegan diet, and it's like it's basically implying a fail. First, not eating enough calories. And that's again implying it's all about eating enough calories. And guys, I've been living according to this like for 8 years, like during my vegan life. Not planning out what you eat when being at work or with friends. Yes, so basically your life is planning how you're going to pull through with your fruit diet. It might take away from your spontaneity, but your health is worth more than easygoing laissez-faire, in my opinion. Well, your health is not only physical. That's the thing. And I was the same for so many years. I was thinking the same way, and I got more miserable the more healthier I ate. That's the truth, and that's what I had to admit to myself. And really also, I had a lot of grief about that as well. And your spontaneity is so important to a fulfilling life, a happy life. It's like it's so underestimated, and it just really kind of drives me crazy because it's not laissez-faire if you eat all foods. It's not laissez-faire, okay? It actually has a lot to do with discipline once you've been in a restrictive eating disorder in order to allow that again. It's not like a weakness or something, and it's really driving me crazy because that's what my eating disorder also used to tell me, that is letting yourself go, that's just no discipline, no control, and it's just like a weakness, and that's just not the case. And I just want to remind you guys that every one of you guys can do this because you have proved that you have huge discipline. Anyone who has ever had any form or kind of restrictive eating disorder has huge discipline. Otherwise, they could not have done it, because restriction takes discipline. It just makes you miserable and unhealthy in the long term. I'm excited about the person that I am becoming. Well, I was excited about the person that I was becoming, but the thing is, I was not aware at that point in time that it's not a fully raw person, and that full recovery is not going to look like raw vegan. It's just like something that my eating disorder still tried to ingrain into my brain. And I'm so glad that I got out of that. Remember that I actually took all of these photos of my food because I intended to show them to you later, because I thought that was real recovery. And now I'm showing them to you because it was not real recovery, it was quasi recovery, like really pseudo recovery. You know, I was doing the high calorie thing. I was pimping up my smoothie, my watermelon smoothie, with dates, because I sure knew that watermelon would not give me enough calories. I was up on the game with enough calories, even with eating like these salads. I mean, you do crave a savory in the evening when you're raw, and that is, but also I had fruit still to increase the calories and stuff. But how, like, it's just so, you're still so focused on only eating the right and the most healthiest and wholesome and nutritious foods. How is that? You can gain all the weight you want with it. You can gain weight on any type of food. But how is that in any way improving your mental state? Like, how is that taking away from your anxiety, your fears? How is that working for you for full recovery? It's not. Like, I can tell you from experience, and I know from other people, it's not happening. Real recovery is not happening. Mentally, your fears, if anything, your fears are going to increase big time. They are not decreasing at all. By just eating the healthiest as possible and just abiding to the orthorexia rules of anorexia. And you can add all of the fats you want. You see here a dressing of like dates and lemon and tahini, a lot of tahini. Also, what you don't see, again, I weighed all of my stuff, and I told myself it's because I need to make sure that I'm eating enough. And that was true. I mean, it's hard to eat enough calories on that type of diet, but maybe just eat different things, right? But that's just an excuse of the eating disorder. It just wants to make you hang on to the calorie counting, and the truth is, it just keeps you in your eating disorder deep. Another breakfast, and when you look at this, it just looks so wholesome and fresh and colorful, and I still love all of these things. I just have it as a small part of my diet, just as everything else. It's not like I have to have this much or that much. And I actually had but I did not have them in the beginning of my recovery, because I took every opportunity to eat fear foods to rewire my brain. And so I had my sister visited me there, and we had this kind of meal there together, also with David, I think. And what did I have? I had a meal of dates. Yeah. Do you see the error? I mean, it's blatant in your eyes. some things. Okay, humans are meant to thrive on a fruit-based diet. So when it does not work, it usually means because they didn't have enough mentorship, or it was not their priority to make this lifestyle work. That is so offending, because no, maybe it's just because they say it is not worth it and it's not actually making me healthy. Obstbasiertes Leben, like fruit-based life, is not easy, but it's worth it 100%. Yeah, it's not an easy life, but that does not sound to me like a fulfilling life. I'm just being honest. It's just basically how I used to think back in the day, but it's just not, and it's not even leading to the health that you're thinking you want, because health is not only physical. Okay, you saw some screenshots I took there from Bonnie Rebecca. I was really pretty much envying like how she could be so social and just eating whatever she wants, and I was like, wow, like I actually need this in my life in order to be fully healthy, also socially and in my soul and everything. And then there was another thing of this girl Audra, like with the pizza base from Whole Foods. I just want to remind you guys, you can have the normal conventional pizza that comes ready. You do not have to get your own pizza dough, and yeah, just so important. These are more screenshots of what I looked at there. Like the perniosis is another kind of word for chilblains. A dressing that was up on the Balance Bay programs that I got from this girl Audra. Not going to say anything about a program. Just for me, it was not the right thing at that point. Okay, this was a coffee with normal milk. Yeah, we were spending a day with a friend, and it's just something I was not able to do when I was doing Quasi Recovery. Also, I was quite anxious. It was kind of a big deal to go to social gatherings or do something spontaneously, because I just always wondered, like, what is there going to be as food? I just always, sorry for the noise, I was just always feeling like I had to just keep up with just choosing the healthiest option when I was going out, and I was just not relaxing at the point. So here, this is a kind of sauce. I had this idea of actually making cheesy vegetables, and there's also sausages in there and yogurt, actually blueberry yogurt. It might sound funky, but it does taste pretty darn good. It is like, if you think of it, there's also berries, and like many Indian dishes, for example, have fruit in there also as well. And yeah, this was kind of a brunch that we had at church before we went to a lake with some friends. This was the buffet. And one could say, well, if you're vegan, you just take the vegan stuff. I mean, there's vegan stuff, just take the vegan stuff, and that's it. Well, that's pleasing the eating disorder. Like, that is pleasing my eating disorder big time, because it feels much safer, and I would not have rewired shit if I had done that. Like, I would not have rewired. You see here what I had as on my plate. And also this chocolate cake, ooey gooey fudgy, it's so good. Also fruit, and yeah, it's just something I had to know everything that went into my food, and so not being vegan was, like, in social occasions was really, really important for me, and then also in private life, in order to really get rid of the fears. We actually did a 30-minute bike ride, very chill, with friends to a lake, and brought food and stuff with us. This was the lake, so nice. It's just something that would have provoked anxiety and fear in me, even in Quasi Recovery, because I was still not free. Like, I was still like worried about, what if there's too unhealthy food? What if I, even though I had let go of a lot of control, and also, Quasi Recovery also went much freer later, as you're going to see throughout the year of these videos. I did not stay fully raw. And it did get looser and looser, but the real recovery only came and happened and rewired when I let go of all rules and ate whatever the heck I wanted, like without any restriction. This was on a Sunday when I was singing in worship, and I had croissant and a chocolate bun and a latte, which is just, I just love to be able to do that now. Actually, one of you guys visited me there, and I was really happy about that. And we went to a Korean place, Korean cuisine. I had a kibimbap. It's kind of a sushi, just not with raw stuff. And this is also not vegan. Like, this is with fish, and I'm actually not a big fan of fish. Like, I have never really been, like, it was not a big thing in my family, but I'm kind of getting familiar with it and trying it out just because we can. And that's also part of recovery, of real recovery, to kind of force yourself to be open and not let any kind of rules slip into there, and just being open to stuff. And if it you know, just make experiences. Yeah, just some more photos of what I ate. And I also want you guys to know, this is of course not everything I ate during the week, and it's actually not even 1 week. It was it's throughout 2 weeks actually, because I was 1 week behind in the last video, and so I just took them both together, so I'm up to date again. This was actually, we went, like, with friends, we watched football here in Germany, Fußball, and it was with Eintracht, a game of Frankfurt Eintracht, and it was such a good mood in the whole city. And I'm like not really interested in football, but that was like so nice to be able to go out for drinks with friends. Just something very new in my life. Okay, so, and I was really big now on these kind of gratins, with, this is actually with a whole lot of cheese and sausages also, and mayonnaise. And that's just something I was just craving, and so I just had it, and just something very new in my life also, and it does me really, really good. It's just very satisfying, and sausage and cheese used to freak me out so much. And just real recovery would not have happened for me if I had clung on to being fully vegan or plant-based, even though at heart I really wanted to. And that's why it took such a long time for me to let that ethical stance go in order for me to recover on all levels. And until that has happened, that is the perfectly healthiest choice for me. And yeah, I hope this helped you. If it did, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you next video on Sunday. What I eat now, a whole day. Bye!